Hey everyone, I'm Ed Walls, and today we are going to unbox the RG280V and ask the question, is it worth it in 2022? And there it is. This device has always appealed to me because it is the Famicom colors. It's gold on the surface. My immediate impression is this is a really, really lovely device, beautifully designed. It's exactly, well, actually better than I expected it to be. It's just quality plastic, very well finished off. The screen protrudes a little bit. I wonder if it's got a screen guard on it. Buttons are of a very high quality. Very, very nice buttons. Bit of a weird playing position. I suppose you play like that. I love the Famicom colors because that's the gaming console that I used to play when I was a kid. Backfiring speaker, not something that I'm super excited about. But first impression is that this is a very, very high quality device. So immediately I've made the note to talk about the build quality, and in comparison to my little Miyoo Mini, this is just so well built. These are very clicky buttons, typical ANBERNIC clicky buttons here. They're not mushy. They've got a nice defined press to them, but they're not clicky. These are also not clicky buttons. The D-pad, because I've got a RG350M ANBERNIC. This D-pad feels, I think, a little bit better. I'll have to have a look. The plastic is finished off really well, so it's a top-notch finish. You know, the little holes. There's no like little loose little shards of plastic or anything sticking out. This is finished off very, very well. So the perceived quality and build quality is really good. Just rattle it here by this. These shoulder buttons, just like on my RG350M, they rattle, so that is the issue. Volume rocker, nice click to it. I don't like the press button volume rocker, but that is that. And these buttons are clicky. There's the power button. Yeah, so very, very good quality. So size comparison, unfortunately I've got this side angle today. The RG280V is a little bit wider, but a little bit shorter than the Miyoo Mini. They're about the same thickness. The Miyoo Mini just drops down here, which gives it a little bit of a, this is a nice holding position. The way you hold it is very nice, but very, very similar in size. I need to check the specs, but the screen sizes on here are very similar as well. You know, this fits in there like that. So it's very small, but it's not teeny tiny, and it feels a little bit chunkier than the Miyoo Mini because it is a little bit wider. So it's got a little bit more heft to it compared to my my Miyoo Mini. Let's switch it on. So lovely little screen. It's running OpenDingX, which at this stage of the game is pretty crappy. Let's play some Donkey Kong Country. So okay, let's see how it would help. Okay, so the speaker's really nice, but it's firing from the back, so I wish it was here even, or here. Anyway. These buttons are very, very nice. So I've been playing this particular game on the Miyoo Mini recently. Oh, a lot of glitching. But the screen is more saturated, which is quite nice, but there's more definition in the Miyoo Mini screen. I know from the specs that the Miyoo Mini is a little bit more high powered. This I think has the same chipset as the RG350M, so it's a slightly lower powered device. Okay, so here's some Super Nintendo, so it'll use the Pocket SNES emulator. It's booting right up. Okay, so I've opened up Pocket SNES, and it seems okay. So this is just with stock OpenDingX, which I will change for the Atom image. But so far, it seems alright. I think one of my commentary on these game devices is that you're not really buying these for Sony PlayStation, and although PlayStation 1 would be nice, So the newer devices, that's where they shine, with some newer features and some more performance. But if you are a low-end retro gamer, these devices, these older devices are fine. So this argument about is it worth it in 2022, it becomes relevant if you're not interested in playing anything beyond PlayStation 1. Alright, so it's unfair to judge this too harshly on the OpenDingX, because I am going to put Atom Image on here and do a full review on the device. Let's compare these two devices. So let's talk about the Miyoo Mini and the RG280V. I still think this is a relevant conversation to have for people who are busy buying these devices now in 2022, because I really like the look of the new RG353V, I think it's called, and then there's the VS, which is the single operating system option. And those are really nice devices, and I'm quite curious to have a look at those because they've got Bluetooth, they've got Wi-Fi, so they've got all the newer features. So these are the older devices with no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, so you can't put your Bluetooth headphones in. There's a Bluetooth, a jack here for your headphones, jack here for your headphones. So those are the downsides of these, but it does add to that retro experience because you're not connected. It gives you the feel of being a bit more analog. So in the argument are, let's say for instance, all those things of newer features and everything's not too much of a concern for you, and you're not too concerned about playing anything beyond PlayStation 1, this will definitely, once I put Atom Image, the RG280V, will be able to play a few PlayStation 1 games. So although the Miyoo Mini on paper is more powerful, it's not a super relevant conversation to have. I mean, you can push the Miyoo Mini to its limits, but it is a tiny device. And so it's limited by the way you can use it. Like the trigger buttons on the back aren't that user-friendly, and neither are they on the 280V. From that perspective, I think the performance is cancelled out. So what it really boils down to, I think, is the operating system and the quality of the device. And if that's the concern, Atom Image is excellent. Eduardo Filo has been developing that for quite a few years now, and that is a really nice piece of software. So if you put the operating system on here called Atom Image on the 280V or a 350M or any of those generation of ANBERNIC devices, these devices become really high-end in terms of their operating system. I do give the leg up to the Miyoo Mini on refinement of the operating system, so that is definitely something better on here. But I've had this for all of 20 minutes now, the 280V, but the build quality is just exceptional compared to the Miyoo Mini. If it was build quality alone, so I'm going to tinker around with this 280V and to do my final video, I'm already thinking, sure, I might use the 280V more often because it is very pocketable. It's very durable, so I feel more comfortable already with this 280V in terms of it being rugged. The Miyoo Mini, the little jack, people had an argument with me online about the fact that I didn't like this hobbyist grade battery that they switched it out for. The original V1 came with a Nokia battery. This jack here that it connects to the device is already wearing and already has a crack in it. So that's problematic. So the quality of the Miyoo Mini is under question for me. If you are buying this and quality is a huge concern to you, the 280V definitely is a better option just from my initial use of it. So to answer the question, is the RG280V relevant in 2022? It definitely is. If we look at the price of the newer devices, they've all jumped by $50, $60, which is a huge jump from, $80 devices. All of a sudden they're $140, $150. That's quite a big jump in price. So that's problematic for somebody purchasing this right now. So this conversation has changed because the 280V has dropped in price. So when it initially came out, it was a premium priced handheld device in this sort of niche market. So it was quite expensive, and the last time I looked at that and compared it to the Miyoo Mini, I said to myself, it's quite a bit more expensive. The Miyoo Mini wins. But now I put the price on because I can't remember what I paid for this, but it is much cheaper on the ANBERNIC website, and if you purchase from them, they've got free shipping. It took a while to get you, about 4 or 5 weeks. You can get free shipping on this, so the price on the website is the price you get. And so comparing it to the Miyoo Mini, it's much more comparable now in 2022. So the question, is the 280V relevant in 2022? Definitely, because the price is now lower. And so it's a lovely alternative to one of the newer, higher spec devices that are quite a bit more expensive.